the movies Vin Diesel had to choose outside of Fast and Furious, he had to choose a very bad comic book movie called Bloodshot. Bloodshot, directed by Dave Wilson, a first-time director. This is a visual effects guy who is trying his hand at directing, and you got Jeff Wadlow, who is the writer. Jeff Wadlow is the man that directed the recent Fantasy Island movie that came out. He also directed Truth or Dare, and he directed the second Kick-Ass movie, which, yeah, the second Kick-Ass movie wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still a pretty good movie, and definitely much better than the second Kingsman movie, which Matthew Vaughn, the director of the first Kingsman movie, directed. But oh man, this movie is so bad. Oh, I did not like this movie at all. Now, I'm somebody who didn't like Truth or Dare, didn't like Fantasy Island, and I didn't realize that Jeff Wadlow was the writer to this movie. So going into this movie, I hated it. It was not a good movie. Vin Diesel doesn't really bring enough to this character. Let's talk about the plot first. The plot is Vin Diesel plays a man named Ray Garrison, who is a guy that's in the military. He comes home to see his wife, played by Talia Riley, Gina Garrison. And when he wakes up, he finds out that he and his wife have been kidnapped by this man, played by Toby Kebbell, who has a gun to his wife's head, and he is threatening to kill his wife if he doesn't get certain information from Ray about the mission he was doing in the Congo. But unfortunately, he doesn't know everything about that mission because the people that tell him to go into these missions in other countries, they don't tell him all the details. So he just pretty much goes where they tell him to go. And he gets very little details about what he's supposed to do. He just does what he thinks is right, pretty much. And unfortunately, that doesn't satisfy Toby Kebbell's character, so he ends up killing the wife. And then, supposedly, you think he kills Ray Garrison's character too, but then Ray Garrison wakes up realizing that he's not dead and that some secret corporation has picked him up, run by Guy Pearce's character, Dr. Emil Harding. And when Ray meets all these other people that are with Dr. Emil Harding, he meets this one woman named KT who has these enhancements in her to help her survive gas attacks, and you got some other guys that have some cybernetic enhancements, and he finds out he has his own cybernetic enhancement. Dr. Emil has replaced Ray's blood with nanites to help him survive and make him stronger, turn him into a super soldier. But Ray does not care about any missions that Emil Harding may send him on. All he cares about is finding the man who killed his wife, Toby Kebbell's character, and he wants to go on this revenge hunt after this guy. But what Ray doesn't realize is that he's having these false memories in his head of who killed his wife, and he's going after these people that Emil Harding wants him to go after, and Emil's actually having him do his bidding without Ray realizing it. Ray has become Emil's puppet, so to speak, or wind-up toy. Just send him in and he kills somebody thinking that it's somebody that killed his wife, when in actuality it's somebody that Emil wants dead. And that's pretty much the movie. And eventually Ray Garrison catches on to what's happening and turns on Guy Pearce's character. And that's pretty much the movie. Now, I was hoping that this movie was going to be a good movie. I don't really know the source material that this movie is based on, but I could tell that this movie is not really doing the source material very good, even though I don't know the source material. This was such a bad movie. Vin Diesel, he's a pretty good actor in the Fast and Furious movies, and I do like the voice work he does for Groot and the voice work he did in the Iron Giant movie, but he really doesn't bring that much to this character. Mostly his acting is not really all that good in this movie, probably because we got a first-time director directing him, and the script is obviously very bad since the writer, Jeff Wadlow, is a terrible writer. He's not even that good of a director, really. So getting a bad director to be your screenwriter, that's not a good idea. Most of the lines that Ray Garrison does is shouting a lot, which is really not that good acting for Vin Diesel to do. I did like Eliza Gonzalez, who plays KT. I thought she was great in the movie. She was one of the bright spots in the film. She really does a good job in the movie playing somebody who seems to have a bit of an attraction for Ray Garrison. And when we find out a little twist about Gina Garrison, Ray's wife, which I had the feeling about the twist as the movie was progressing, and when the twist happens, like, yeah, I was right. It was pretty obvious. Toby Kebbell I thought was okay in the movie for what screen time he gets. I did like some of the other guys that are part of the team that Ray Garrison gets put in, that Ray ends up fighting against. But really, this movie's just not very good. Not all the action scenes really look all that great. Guy Pearce is playing such a cartoonist, generic villain, really. So I really didn't like this movie at all. It was not a good film. The special effects really aren't all that great either. So honestly, I'm going to give this movie a D, as in don't see it. Really, the only thing I did like about this movie was the actress playing KT, Eliza Gonzalez. And I didn't really even like Vin Diesel in the movie all that much. There were some moments where I did like Vin Diesel in the movie, but because of the direction maybe he was getting made him do a bad performance, or maybe it was the script, he just really wasn't all that great in the movie. So don't bother seeing this movie. Then again, you really can't see any movies anyway because all the theaters are closed from this pandemic that's going on. The coronavirus. That's all I gotta say. Big guy out.